Lead us not into temptation. Just tell us where it is, we'll find it. You must learn from the mistakes of others. You can't possibly live long enough to make them all yourself. The reason grandparents and grandchildren get along so well is that they have a common enemy. Don't watch the clock. Do what it does. Keep going. Somewhere on this globe, every 10 seconds, there is a woman giving birth to a child. She must be found and stopped. Do not worry about avoiding temptation. As you grow older, it will avoid you. The simplest tool, one which even the youngest child can operate, is called a grandparent. The trouble with the rat race is that even if you win, you're still a rat. It's so simple to be wise after the event. The time to save is now. When a dog gets a bone, he doesn't go out and make a down payment on a bigger bone. He buries the one he's got. The first thing I do in the morning is brush my teeth and sharpen my tongue. Don't watch the clock. Do what it does. Keep going. I take my vacation on the combine and tractor. This way I know what I'm getting when I see the scenery. You must pay for your sins. If you have already paid, please ignore this notice. The reason grandchildren and grandparents get along so well is that they have a common enemy. Do not just sit there. Do something. The answers will follow. For attractive lips, speak words of kindness. For lovely eyes, seek out the good in people. If you die in an elevator, be sure to push the up button. The only thing wrong with immortality is that it tends to go on forever. When you have a bit of it, it isn't bad. When you have too much of it, you get a bellyache. In order to succeed, your desire for success should be greater than your fear of failure. People are funny, and in the end, they only see what they want to see. When I was a boy, the Dead Sea was only sick. You must learn to be still in the midst of activity and to be vibrantly alive in repose. Do not argue with an idiot. He will drag you down to his level and beat you with experience. To err is human, but to really foul things up, you need a computer. The trouble with the rat race is that even if you win, you're still a rat. The reason grandparents and grandchildren get along so well is that they have a common enemy. Lead us not into temptation. Just tell us where it is, we'll find it. For several days after my surgery, the doctors and nurses kept asking how my shoulder felt. They did not know it was my throat that was sore. When I told my doctor I couldn't afford an operation, he offered to touch up my x-rays. One of the virtues of being very young is that you don't let the facts get in the way of your imagination. The beauty of spacing children many years apart lies in the fact that parents have time to learn the mistakes that were made with the older ones. The average woman would rather have beauty than brains because the average man can see better than he can think. A simple child that lightly draws its breath and feels its life in every limb is worthy to be called a child. Don't watch your weight eat cake. The elevator to success is out of order. You'll have to use the stairs one step at a time. The secret of staying young is to live honestly, eat slowly, and lie about your age. It's not that I'm afraid to die. I just don't want to be there when it happens. You know you're getting old when the candles cost more than the cake. If you want to make a permanent change, stop focusing on the size of your problems and start focusing on the size of you. There are 3 ways to get something done. Do it yourself, employ someone, or forbid your children to do it. In life, it's not who you know that's important. It's how your wife found out. If you can laugh at yourself, you are going to be fine. If you allow others to laugh with you, you will be great. A word to the wise isn't necessary. It's the stupid ones who need the advice. The trouble with learning from experience is that you never graduate. You must pay for your sins. If you have already paid, please ignore this notice. The reason grandchildren and grandparents get along so well is that they have a common enemy. Don't watch the clock. Do what it says. Keep going. Lead us not into temptation. Just tell us where it is. We'll find it. The trouble with trouble is that it starts out as fun. If you're too open-minded, your brains might fall out. A clean house is the sign of a broken computer. Don't worry about the world coming to an end today. It's already tomorrow in Australia. I'm writing a book. I've got the page numbers done. Age is strictly a case of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. Experience is a hard teacher because she gives the test first, the lesson afterward. I'm not arguing. I'm just explaining why I'm right. The elevator to success is out of order. You'll have to use the stairs, one step at a time. By the time a man realizes that maybe his father was right, he usually has a son who thinks he's wrong. Always remember you're unique, just like everyone else. I am not lazy. I am in energy-saving mode. Marriage is when a man and woman become one. The trouble starts when they try to decide which one. The best way to appreciate your job is to imagine yourself without one. Common sense is not so common. I haven't spoken to my wife in years. I didn't want to interrupt her. If you're going to do something tonight that you'll be sorry for tomorrow morning, sleep late. I'm not afraid to die, I just don't want to be there when it happens. Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. I asked the waiter, "Is this milk fresh?" He said, "Lady, 3 hours ago, it was grass."